Good morning, it's Wednesday, March 12th, 2025. Welcome to the Daily Dispatch, your daily news update from the Bull Moose Network. Let's jump into some news from around the mitten. If you drive the Zilwaukee Bridge, get ready for a detour, because MDOT is actually fixing something before it collapses. Starting April 14th, the southbound lanes of I-75 will be shut down from Cokeville to Wadsworth Road for a $2.9 million maintenance project. We're talking expansion joints, deck patching, and resealing to keep Michigan's infamous freeze-thaw cycle from turning the bridge into a death trap. Traffic will reroute to southbound I-675, and if you rely on the Adams Street ramps, well, you're out of luck. They're closed too. The work wraps up by June 27th, and then it's northbound's turn on July 14th. For once, road work is happening before disaster strikes. In Michigan, that's practically a miracle. DTE Energy just got the green light to squeeze Michigan customers for another $217 million, courtesy of the Michigan Public Service Commission. Starting on February 6th, your bill may have jumped by $4.61 a month. Officially, the money is for fixing aging power lines and trimming trees. But let's not forget, the Commission also shot down DTE's attempts to bill customers for outage credits and corporate jet travel. This comes after a massive $368 million rate hike in late 2023. So while DTE rakes in the cash, Michiganders keep footing the bill for a grid that still can't handle a stiff breeze. The president of Lockhart Chemical is finally facing charges after dumping 15,000 gallons of toxic sludge into the Flint River back in 2022. Attorney General Dana Nessel says this wasn't some accident. Rajinder Singh Manas knew, covered it up, and let the river take the hit. The spill left a miles-long oil slick, adding another stain to Flint's environmental nightmare. Lockhart Chemical has since gone bankrupt, but Manas? He appeared in Genesee County Court on January 2nd. Manas faces multiple felony charges and misdemeanor charges, including falsifying public records and endangering public health. Meanwhile, Nessel isn't just taking on polluters, she's also taking on the Trump administration. This time, she's blocked a proposed cut to over $200 million in medical research, funding that was supposed to go to Michigan universities. The federal court issued a preliminary injunction stopping Trump's plan to gut indirect cost reimbursements, which would have crippled research at the University of Michigan, Michigan State, and Wayne State. These funds keep labs running, pay researchers, and fuel medical breakthroughs. Nessel called the ruling a win for science, jobs, and Michigan's future. But with Trump's war on public funding, expect more fights ahead. The people of Michigan's 35th Senate District have been without representation for over a year, and they're getting sick of waiting. At a fiery town hall in Saginaw, residents demanded answers on why Governor Whitmer still hasn't called a special election to fill the seat left vacant when Kristen McDonald-Rivet moved to Congress. Whitmer's office blames legal and timing issues, but critics aren't buying it, calling the delay a political stall tactic. With over 270,000 constituents left without a voice in Lansing, frustration is boiling over. The question now is, how much longer until they finally get their seat back? On the national side, the Trump administration is taking a buzzsaw to the federal workforce, gutting agencies left and right in the name of fiscal responsibility. The Department of Veterans Affairs, slashing over 80,000 jobs. The IRS, cutting nearly half its workforce because, God forbid, the rich get audited. NOAA, losing 1,000 workers because who needs accurate climate data when corporate profits are at stake? These cuts will kneecap public services, stall vital research, and leave enforcement agencies toothless. But sure, tell us again about how this is all for efficiency and not a full-scale dismantling of federal oversight. Starbucks, the same company that charges you $6 for burnt bean water, is now facing accusations of dodging $1.3 billion in taxes. A report from the Center for International Corporate Tax Accountability and Research claims Starbucks funneled profits through a Swiss subsidiary, jacking up the price of unroasted coffee beans sold to itself. Why? Because Switzerland's tax rates are as cozy as their ski lodges. Meanwhile, everyday workers get nickel and dimed by the IRS while corporate giants play financial hopscotch to avoid paying their fair share. Starbucks insists it's all legal, but let's be real. Just because something's legal doesn't make it ethical. Another day, another corporate tax scam. Staying with Starbucks, the coffee giant just axed 1,100 corporate jobs, and now CEO Brian Niccol wants the survivors to step it up. Translation: work harder, keep quiet, and pretend your job isn't next. In a company forum, Niccol admitted Starbucks is a mess. Decisions aren't getting made, the stores are struggling, and leadership is failing. But instead of rethinking corporate priorities, his solution is simple: show up to the office, work more, and hope for the best. Of course, the layoffs weren't about saving money, just streamlining operations. While sales slumped and competitors moved in, Niccol insists there won't be more cuts for now. But Starbucks' grand turnaround plan remains vague. Meanwhile, unionization efforts across the country are exposing the real issue. It's not about efficiency. It's about keeping control. Starbucks workers don't need a pep talk. They need bargaining power. Back to Trump, he tried to gut the National Labor Relations Board, but a federal judge just smacked him down. The court ruled his firing of Gwen Wilcox, an NLRB member and the first black woman to hold the position, was straight up illegal. Turns out you can't just boot labor officials on a whim, no matter how much you hate unions. The judge called Trump's move blatantly illegal and a violation of Supreme Court precedent, ordering Wilcox's reinstatement. The ruling keeps the NLRB from turning into another corporate lapdog and reinforces its role in protecting workers' rights. For now, at least, the board stays independent, whether Trump likes it or not. Amazon workers in Bessemer, Alabama are back at it, filing for yet another union election after the last two got steamrolled by corporate meddling. The NLRB is reviewing the petition, but let's not pretend this is a fair fight. A federal judge already ruled that Amazon pulled every dirty trick in the book, spying on organizers, threatening shutdowns, and generally flexing its union-busting muscle to crush worker momentum. Now, Amazon and the union are both appealing, setting the stage for yet another round in this never-ending brawl. The real question is, how many times do workers have to fight for the same damn rights before the system stops bending over for billionaires? And that's your daily dispatch for the day. Eyes open, voices loud.